All right. So how can you get involved in the legislative process? So there's a bill you're passionate about. There's a topic you're passionate about. Almost every year, bills come through a number of topics. You read a bill, you want to support it. First thing you can do is look up who your legislator is. You figure out who your local legislator is based on where they live. There are websites for this that you can just Google. Who is my Colorado legislators? Oh, those are ads. Find my Okay, so it was on this website. I just didn't know the exact page. I'm not throwing in my address. But you can throw in your address and then you figure out who your legislators are. So, after that, you may email them. You may reach out to tell them your opinion. You can also reach out to try to set up a meeting. Depending on who they are, I've had good luck and I've had bad luck. But at the state level, they're much more likely, especially if you live in your district, to take a meeting with you to understand your priorities. They might not agree with those priorities, and they may give you a reason why they are against what you're working on, but often they give you a time and a response. Not always, sometimes they avoid you because they don't like talking to people, but that is a good place to start. Following that, you can take a look at what committees they're on. You see where that bill's going to committee, you see when it's being discussed, you sign up to testify by going in virtually, or you can submit a written email testimony. Our jazz is gonna kick back in. It's on loop. Okay. It's testimony day. You are signed up to talk at your committee, and you prepare, you dress up because you want to make a good impression. There's actually technically rules on dress code. I would have to take off this bandana and these headphones. You're not allowed things on your head, no hats. Someone before you walk into the testimony room tells you that. I guess that's if you're there in person. You go to the Colorado State Legislature in Denver, and you walk into the building, you go through security checkpoint, you figure out what the room number is, there's helpful people to help you find it, and you sign up your name on a list to speak. And the speakers, you typically brought up 4 at a time, you sit at a table, you each give 2 to 3 minutes. I think it changes. It can change based on how many people signed up, but I think they have to give you at least 2 minutes. And you speak your piece. Sometimes you can propose amendments, slight changes. Sometimes other legislators will be there in the room to speak on the bill as well. And the people on the committee hear a wide range of opinions and then get to decide themselves if they push it through the process. Now, depending on if you think that's going to go well or not, you can work with lobby groups and organizations to try to put additional pressure on the legislators. Sometimes there's lobby days where groups around, let's say there's a climate lobby day, come together, and there's often trainings for new people. There's often people who've done it for a while helping lead those people in conversations. You try to get some time on the House floors to have a short conversation to bring someone onto your side. And you do your best to share with them why this is important. Now, sometimes they're super thoughtful and give you back their concerns, and then it gives you this opportunity to dialogue that we have and are lucky to have with our democratic system. If they don't still do what you want, there are these longer term things you can do around politics and elections to try to get someone in a position that will support you, or finding the right politicians who can champion it to get it across the finish line. At that point, you're doing well, you're getting involved, something you're passionate about is about to become a law, and then it goes to the governor's desk. Well, it goes through committees, and then it goes through the House floors, and then if it passes on both the House and the Senate side, and has room in the budget, and then it goes to the governor's desk. And then he either signs it or he doesn't. He, she, but we have a he right now. And then there could be a level of trying to lobby the governor to be on your side if it seems like they might be on the fence. And that's the full political process. Any important steps I am missing? The legislator's day is filled with time, listening to bills on the floor, setting up the feed of the priorities and what's coming through the line. They have their offices where they can take meetings and spend time with different groups and experts. They have their committee time. They have that time where they go home and are probably still cracking away at trying to get something they want passed and calling up their fellow legislators to see if they have each other's back. But from the person's side, there's a few parts where you can have this big impact. You can organize events and actions to have a bigger impact with others. And that's the breakdown. There's many steps to it, but it really just comes down to figuring out what the concerns are of the politicians and working to address them, or working to amend/change the bills to make them more palatable to get passed. And this is a whole infrastructure around this, because policies can move millions of dollars to mental health care, or move it to agriculture, or move it to all different types of places. And is how things progress. Colorado's a great leader. The House and the legislature has to have public testimony on bills, typically quite accessible. And yeah, if you have any questions about that process, you can drop them in the comments and in the chat. I've testified, I have had personal conversations with legislators, I've heard legislators say racist things in those meetings, and tragically, I was not recording the meeting in my pocket. I've had legislators say they will meet with me and have sent me to meet with their aides and their support structure, to then not get a meeting with them later and be ghosted. I've had friends become legislators who are gleefully excited to hear what I have to say and try and want to support me in having that impact. There's a great diversity of people, and it's really cool to kind of see things come through. Political party holds some weight. The leaders of the political party hold some weight into what gets prioritized, and lobbying and whip the vote to have something happening away. And then sometimes there are leaders who, for reasons for the district they live in or for personal reasons, will still go against that grain. And so it leads to this very fluid process of how things are done. Simple ways people can get involved, mourn wage, new politicians testify, attend a lobby day. I can work on creating a resource that shares the different lobby days, because there's like one Colorado that has their LGBTQ plus lobby day. There's groups like 350 Colorado and Sierra Club that have climate lobby days. And I think those are actually some of the best places to learn, because you're put into groups with experts and given training and given list of bills that have background of information on them that you can read and digest easily. Sometimes bills are easy to digest, sometimes they're actually very complicated, and that's just the name of the game.